Hello, everyone, and welcome to the monthly Oracle Wisdom for the month of September. My name is Natalie Sadie, and this month we are going to try things a little bit differently. And I want all of you to let me know in the comments if you prefer the readings this way. We are going to do pick a pile this month, or if you prefer just a single general reading for the month. I thought it would be fun to mix things up a little bit. I don't have an overhead camera where I am at the moment. Hopefully in future, I'll be able to do that so you guys can see the cards as I'm looking at them. But for now, I'll have to show you the piles that I have. So we have pile number 1 with Tiger's Eye. If we can make the camera focus, there we go. Pile number 2, which we have with the Labradorite Owl. One of my favorite stones, except the light's not hitting it enough for you to be able to see all the lightning on her belly. And then the third pile, pile number 3, we have just a beautiful piece of quartz. So take a moment to sit, take a breath, and think about which pile you are drawn to. Have a think about which pile you're drawn to. Tiger's Eye, Labradorite Owl, or the quartz. Okay, so we are going to get straight into it. We are starting with pile number 1, which is the Tiger's Eye. What I've done is we're using the Mahrukh Future Higher Self deck. I've pulled 5 cards from that deck for each pile. We have 3 cards of the Mahrukh Butterfly Effect, and then I have pulled 1 card from the Inner Child Oracle to finish off each reading. So let's start with the Future Higher Self. Card number 1, don't take action where there's a feeling of resistance. Forcing something that isn't meant for you will never work out. And there are moments where we become so blinded by our wants, our needs, our desires, that we lose sense of listening to our intuition, because there are always signs that we know something isn't for us. Resistance is one of those signs. You know, when you go to press a door and see if you can open it and you just can't because it's locked or there's something jammed on the other side, there's a reason for that. And I always say, rejection is the universe's protection, and it doesn't always feel good when we're feeling that, but it is the truth. Sometimes we don't realize why things were playing out the way that they were for us until much, much later. And sometimes we never know, but you have to trust that the universe is guiding you and putting you on the path that you are meant to be on. Next card is, remember, many of the clouds casting shadows aren't real. So if you're freaking out about something and all the things that might be, take a breath, because when we're worrying, we're losing the joy in the moment right now, and we're focusing on something that hasn't even happened. And realistically, we can manifest anything for better or worse. And if you are focused on things that are terrible and all these awful things that are going to happen, that is what you're going to manifest for yourself. So I think it's a time where you need to let go of all that worry. I know it's easier said than done, but it's time to focus on the present, focus on what is happening, what you can control right now in this moment, and everything else that you're seeing up ahead, all those clouds, don't worry about them. If those clouds turn out to be real and it's something you have to deal with, you'll deal with it in the moment. But living in fear is living in the future, and there's no point in doing that. Your life is at a turning point right now. You're ready. For months, we've been talking about being in a new doorway or taking a new path or having to make that decision as to which path you're going to go down. And this is just an extension of that. But it's time to take that step. for the rest of this year, the astrology just keeps getting more and more and more wild. So embrace it, step into it. We have Pluto back in Capricorn. You know, it's the last time that we will ever see this transit in our life. And it's time for people to finish what they've started, make their last big push to get where they want and to create these new incredible things. And if you've been working towards something and you've been living between two worlds, it's time to step through that door and really, really get moving. There's more to know than what you currently know. Anyone that thinks they know everything is completely wrong. And I think it's the height of arrogance to assume that you know everything. There is always more to learn, even if you're at the top of your field in what you do. It's possible that there's still more to discover in what you're doing. So this is a reminder to keep an open mind and keep learning so that you can develop and either get to the top of your field or to blast through the limitations that you may have believed existed. Just keep learning, keep listening, keep trying to find that information, because what if it exists and nobody's looked for it? Be careful who you take advice from. So that's the other thing. You have to, I feel like this is contradictory, but at the same time, it makes sense. There's more to know than you currently know. So yes, keep searching, but pay attention to who you're listening to and who you're taking advice from. If something doesn't feel right, I get that this is about don't take action where there's resistance. But if you've got that feeling, that same sort of in your gut, pay attention to that, because not everybody has your best interests at heart. So the people you go to, some of them I'm sure do have your best interests at heart and want to help, and it's all good, but just pay attention. So the first card from the butterfly effect is learning. You are being led down the path of unlearning and relearning to make smarter decisions as you navigate uncharted ground ahead. Trade knowing for curiosity. So that ties right back to this card. It is a month of expanding your knowledge base, of not sitting in a place of arrogance, of believing that you know everything. You have no idea what you're going to come across this month. Second card, memories. You may be feeling a bit nostalgic and likely triggered, but know that while you can't go back in time and change the past, you can always change the way you think about it. So I know I've been feeling very emotional this past month, and if deck number one is what you've picked, if you're being triggered by things and feeling nostalgic, or you're getting angry about something, maybe somebody did the wrong thing by you or hurt you in an incredible way, you have the power to change the narrative. You have the power to, if it's a parent wound, to understand that maybe they were doing the best they could with what they had. Maybe it's something a little more spiritual in terms of, this is what you guys signed up for before you came into this life. This is the karmic journey that you both agreed to do and play out together for both your souls' growth. And as difficult as it is to navigate, that's how we grow and how our souls expand. I watched a Dolores Cannon video one time, and in it she said, often the people that hurt us the most are the souls that love us the most, because when we were planning this journey, this incarnation, and needing to go through the horrible things that we did, they signed up to do it because they were coming from a place of love, even though in this realm, it feels like hurt. So there's all of that. Maybe if it's a relationship, maybe they just weren't ready. Maybe it was a karmic relationship where, again, you guys had to play something out to finish something from a past life. There's so many ways to look at it, but you get to make the choice whether you play the part of victim or whether you let go of all of that. And that doesn't free the other person up. It frees you up from what's going on. And the final butterfly card, ending. Something will come to an end that must take place before you can free yourself to move forward. Let go of what was, celebrate the good, and forgive the bad. It's all part of the journey. So to me, ending and memories, considering everything I've just said, they totally go together. And I also think your life is at a turning point right now. You're ready. You're ready to do the work, to let go of all of this stuff, because it's time to start this new journey. It's time to be on a new path. It's time to do new and incredible and exciting things. And if you're living in the past and hanging on to things, it makes it really hard to step forward. So accept the ending, work on where you are and how good you are with everything, so that you can take that step and really expand. And I think I picked the Inner Child Oracle to finish this off because I love this deck. Shadow work, yes, but it's not sort of, I don't know. It's a different energy to the Mahrukh Know Your Shadow Self deck. And I think that working on inner child stuff, it really helps free us up. And at a time where it does feel super emotional, I just feel like this is the appropriate deck. So the card that we've pulled, you do not have to go it alone. Reach out for support at this time. So it can feel like you're lost in an ocean, but you're so close to land. There are so many people that can and will help you and that want to help you as you're figuring all of this out. Maybe it's a counselor, maybe it's a therapist, maybe it's just a best friend, maybe it's a partner that you talk to. It doesn't matter. There are people there that want to help you. So you have to figure a lot of this out, and you're the only one that can action all of this stuff, but there is help. So for those of you that picked the tiger's eye, I hope this reading resonated with you, and we are going to move on to pile number 2. Okay, so we are moving on to pile number 2, my beautiful Labradorite Owl. I wish the light would pick up how gorgeous. Oh, there you go. I'm obsessed with this piece. I just love her. Okay, so let's move on for pile 2. If you need to break the rules, do it with conviction to make a difference. They always say rules were made to be broken. One of my favorite sayings in life is, I don't accept that. When I'm trying to find a solution to something that really doesn't, for a situation that isn't working for me, and you try and find a solution and people go, no, 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 there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. I don't accept that has worked so frequently. And it's because there always is a way. You just have to be sure and you have to stand your ground. So if there is something that you're being told that you cannot do, but you know in your heart of hearts that it can, I don't accept that, and move on through. But be sure about what you're doing. You don't want to make stupid decisions, obviously, that are going to cause you future harm because you've broken a law or something like that. But if it's just you're trying to do something that hasn't been done before and you're being told no because nobody else has done it, don't accept that. Do it with conviction. Step straight into that space and trust yourself. Trust your gut with what it is you're trying to do. So card number 2, a detour is available to you right now that can be a benefit. So whatever it is you're trying to achieve, it's absolutely possible. So trust in that. Card number 3, you're going to master your material reality in the future. So you're busy manifesting. So you need to keep in mind that you are manifesting. So be very clear, very, very, very clear in what it is that you want. Because when you get stuck in the negative, you can manifest that as well. And that's not necessarily what you want to do. So just know that what you're creating this month, you're setting yourself up for what's coming in the future. So be very mindful with what it is you're doing. Interesting. Something similar came up in pile number 1. Be careful who and what you surround yourself with. So not everybody wants the best for us. Not everybody supports us in everything that we do. I know when I was moving over here, I had people that I thought were my friends saying, it'll never happen. You'll never get your visa approved. Almost 7 years later, and I'm still here. I've had people when I first moved over, and when you pick up your life and move to another country, it's not easy. It takes time to settle in. It takes time for the opportunities that are being presented to really cement themselves and come together. And they have. I'm very, very fortunate. But I had people saying, you've got to give up, you've got to come home, which is just insane to me. I just picked up my life and moved halfway around the world, and you're telling me I should just quit and come home. It's not how it works. So I tell you that so you understand that not everybody, it doesn't mean they don't love you, but not everybody is a support. Not everybody is going to lift you up and cheer you on as you're moving through life. So just be really careful with who you choose to spend time with. Sometimes when you figure out who people are and what they do or don't want for you, you then are faced with, do you let them go from your life, or do you just sort of distance yourself? And that's a decision that you'll have to make. But be careful who it is you're surrounding yourself with. Be careful who you're listening to. And don't let the negative messages get stuck in your head. Don't soothe your pain with momentary pleasures. So it's really easy when we're feeling down that we do things just to make ourselves feel better in the moment. That can be eating really crappy food. It can be shopping. It can be hooking up with an ex or hooking up with a random. Whatever it may be, long term, you will hate yourself for doing what you're doing, because you're not doing it from a place to bring good things into your life. You're doing it to fill a hole and a void. And so it's not the way to go this month. All right, let's move on to the butterfly effect. Rest. You're disconnecting yourself from the world and giving yourself a space to rest and grow in your awareness of what's real and what's meaningful to you. So it's a time this month to stop and reflect what's going on in the world, what's going on in your world. And it might be a matter of reprioritizing people and things and situations in your life. And that's okay. But don't make those decisions in a rushed manner. You need to sit with it. You need to think about what it is that's going on for you and decide from a place of truth and a place of grounding. Okay, so gateway, a flood of opportunities are coming your way and giving you many choices to venture onto a new path. Listen to your inner voice and let your soul make your decision. Expect to be busy. So while you're sitting there figuring all of this stuff out, you're also going to be getting the downloads as to the new path that's presenting itself and what it is you're meant to do. And I feel like this also comes down to this. You're manifesting, you're going to master, my gosh, I can't read backwards. You're going to master your material reality in the future. So you're manifesting all of this. And this is part of why you have to be careful who and what you surround yourself with. It's time to really focus because you've got all these opportunities coming your way and you need to be in the right frame of mind. If you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people and you're listening to whatever crap they're filling your head with, this isn't going to go as well. And you want this to go well. So expect to be busy, but this is why you have to be careful with what you're doing. I love these cards. Okay, so the third card is angelic help. Your angels are relieving you of your burdens. You'll notice you'll begin to feel lighter. Your worries and fears are fading away and embracing your own inner breakthrough. I feel like this rest card is so important because I feel like this is what is sort of setting you up for all the opportunity and all the help that you're going to be getting through the month. You've got so many great things coming your way. You're going to be leading the charge when you break the rules and find another way. You're manifesting, you're doing all this stuff. So this is why these two cards came up about being careful who you surround yourself with and not soothing yourself with momentary pleasures, because there's greater work afoot essentially. And you've got the angelic help. You've got the help of your guides and the angels and everybody on the other side guiding you to everything that you're busy manifesting. So do not waste this opportunity. And the final card for the inner child oracle is seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. So once again, it goes back to this rest card. And if you look at this guy, he's got his wings on, he's sitting in the jungle, he's so grounded, he's got bare feet. It's connection. It's connection to the other side. It's connection to the universe and everything that's going on. And when you're sitting in connection, you will have the guidance. And you know what? With the angels, with your guides, with all of them, you need to ask for help. So while you're grounding yourself, while you're meditating, tell them what it is you need. Ask them for help because it's all there. It's all there waiting for you. It's up to you how this month plays out. So I hope that resonates with those of you who selected pile number 2. And now we're moving on to pile number 3. Okay, pile number 3, which is our quartz. All right, let's get into it. Balance all dimensions of your life. So have you been completely out of balance? Are you working too much or are you not working enough and it's causing a problem? Because it's time to bring that balance back. Perfect, considering we are now in Libra season. Okay, card number 2, you're stepping into your highest divine life path. So it's time to level up, but in order to be able to level up, you have to have balance. You know, if you think about an airplane, they can't fly if they're out of balance. So it would be the same thing. If you were to put something stupidly heavy on a bird, it wouldn't be able to take off and soar through the air. So when you get that balance right, you're able to start to soar in the parts of life that you're meant to. And with Pluto being in Capricorn for the last time in our life, it's the last retrograde back in there. It is time for those who are or have been setting things up. It's time to get moving. It's time to manifest all of those things before Pluto fully comes into Aquarius and doesn't come back. It was a necessary ending so that you can pursue the life you're destined to lead. Leave the past behind. Mercury is direct, finally. but we are still in shadow. So if things are still coming back from your past, or if Mercury brought up a whole lot of stuff that is tied to your past and you're struggling to let go of that, it's time to do the work and release it. I always think of when you're hanging on to the past, it can be like these massive weights attached to your ankles, and it's so difficult to step forward because you've got all of this weight just dragging you back to where you were. And sometimes people feel like releasing the past is, if it's grief over someone who's gone, they want you to be happy. They want you to move forward in this life because they will see you again when it's your time to cross over. If you're hanging on to anger or hurt over a relationship ending, the relationship played out the way it was meant to, for the karmic lessons that you were meant to gain in this life. And so you have to be grateful for the good memories, take the lessons that you learned, and be able to move on. I was in a horrific, abusive relationship many, many years ago. I wouldn't wish that relationship on anybody in this world. It was horrible. But the lessons I learned in that relationship fundamentally changed the human being that I am and would have been in this world. So while I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, I wouldn't take it back. I would do it all over again to learn the lessons that I've learned. And I don't carry anger about any of it anymore because that would harm me, not him. So it's time to let all of that stuff go. And you may need to do some work on that, whether it be on your own with someone to help you. If it's grief over losing someone, with a grief counselor, you have to find a way to work through all of that stuff to be able to step forward free as a bird. And while it can be really confronting to work your way through all of these things, when you cut those cords, when you free yourself, the feeling that you get when you're so light and able to move freely, there's nothing better. There's nothing better than finally being free of all of that stuff holding you back. Don't compare your life to others. Your journey is your own. Absolutely. We look at social media and we look at what everybody else is doing. We look at their numbers. We look at their engagement. We just look at their life. They're married with kids and they look so blissfully happy. How do you know? The world's a stage and people always put their best foot forward. It's rare for people to be honest. When I was in that abusive relationship, right up until it all fell apart, and there was one night where it all came to a head and he beat the daylights out of me, I would tell anyone how great my life was. They didn't know I was almost a prisoner in my home. They didn't know how bad things were because I kept that from them. I told everyone life was wonderful. So don't compare yourself to somebody else because, first of all, you have no idea what is going on behind closed doors. Second, that you are your own unique person. And the moment you embrace that, life gets better and life gets easier. And also you attract the right people to you. So you have to keep both of those things in mind. And look, it's easy to look at others and think, oh, I want what they have. You don't even know the truth behind what they have. So focus on you, focus on your journey. That's all you need to do. Know that whatever decision you made, it was the right one. If you're questioning something that happened or that you had going on and you're wondering if it could have played out differently, you did the right thing. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and you have to trust that. So the first butterfly card for you is Jackpot. At last, you will feel like you have it all. Love, success, money, and feeling proud of yourself. You will finally achieve the everlasting happy ending you dreamed of. So once you let go of all that stuff holding you back, once you accept that you made the right decision and trust all of that. Everything ends up as it's meant to, and everything ends up as you want it to. I mean, do you get a better card than jackpot? Okay. So the next card is new love. Your love life is about to take off. A new romantic offer or even several offers are coming your way. Don't let the past hold you back. Embrace the newness. So again, that ending, it needed to happen. And when you meet the right person, you look back at all those past loves. And while you may remember that you love them, you're also going to have clarity that that was why that other relationship ended, because you would never have had the opportunity to meet this new love and how amazing it is. So, I mean, I love, because when I shuffled, I was saying to the deck, this is for reading number one, this is for reading number two. And I shuffled in between pulling cards for each one. And the way I pulled the cards was just where I intuitively needed to. And this is blowing my mind. All right. So whoever picked pile number 3, apparently it's all about love for you this month. Courtship. Your love life will begin to blossom by taking those first steps forward. Towards intimacy and allowing your connection to gradually develop into something steady and consistent without rushing into love. So this is a time where when you meet someone, you have to let it play out at a natural, healthy pace. Because when you dive into something, sometimes you're in something before you have a time to figure out who the other person is, what it is they need, if you're compatible. So just let it play out. Just let it play out. Enjoy the feeling of newness without rushing to sort of say, oh, well, we've got to be in a relationship and we've got to be at this point at this time. Part of the beauty of dating someone and being in the honeymoon phase is when it feels so new and you get so excited waiting for that date to happen and come about. And the magic of that, the anticipation of a first kiss, it's so nice and it's so fun. And if you're not there yet, if you haven't, or if you don't meet that love immediately, enjoy dating, enjoy the people coming out of the woodwork and asking you to go on dates, and say yes and have a great time with whoever it is you're out with. Enjoy the experience of dating. And then the final card from the Inner Child Oracle. Today is the day. It is time to begin the journey. You cannot make this shit up. So I didn't look at any of the pulls that I did before I looked at them with you guys. So this is just beautiful. They're starting the journey. Look how beautiful this card is. You've got the rainbow. You've got this woman ready to go with her giraffe. And I think that's a giant butterfly, or maybe the giraffe has wings. I don't know. But you know what? It's a freaking magical journey. So enjoy it. And even though there is a storm in this picture, I love a storm. It's one of the things I miss about living in California. We really don't get a good thunderstorm very often. And if we do, it's so fleeting. It kind of comes and goes immediately. But whenever there has been a storm, the air feels electrified. The earth smells new and fresh because of all the rain. And I mean, generally the rainbows come out as the storm is ending. So to me, if you look at the picture that is on this card, the storm is moving away. The storm has passed. You've survived it. It's time to enjoy the rainbow and go find the pot of gold. Well, people who picked pile number 3 and the quartz, I think September is a very exciting month. So I'm so excited for all of you. I hope that whatever pile you picked, it resonates with you. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I do hope you all have a wonderful September. And let me know in the comments if you like the pick a pile, if you want me to go back to just a single reading. I thought it'd be nice to do it this way because it kind of mixes it up from my weekly readings. And I will be back tomorrow with the weekly Oracle Wisdom. I will see you all then.